Welcome, Youngstown. We have another exciting basketball game for you here. As we have the Chaney Cowboys taking on the Chardon Hilltoppers here at Chaney High School. As we're awaiting the starting lineup introductions, I'm joined by Chris Gunther.
Hey, what's going on, man? Thank you guys for having me. I'm excited tonight. It's playoff basketball. This is no greater time of year, man. No greater time of year right here in the Mahoning Valley.
Absolutely. And what are some things you're looking for today between Chaney and Chardon?
I'm really looking to see how Chaney executes their offense. I know one of the last times we were here, they ran a lot of their sets, but it wasn't really ran all the way through. And what are you going to do now that at this point in the season, here we are in the playoffs, every possession matters. Those little turnovers that they had earlier in the season can cost them at this point, at this point in time. So I'm really curious to see how they will execute their offense, along with making sure that they box out.
Absolutely. And, something you mentioned before, not talking about the boys, but about the girls, anything can happen in the playoffs.
It sure can. At this point, throw the regular season records out the window. This is the time of year where you have to really leave it all out there on the court, because essentially there is no tomorrow. Just because a team might be below 500 doesn't mean anything come playoff time. So it's going to be really interesting to see what they do. I'm real curious to see how tonight will turn out for the Cowboys.
And what do you think the Cowboys need to do offensively in order to get on the board quickly and try and build a lead against Chardon?
It looks like they have the size, so they definitely should pound the ball inside a lot more. Another thing they're going to have to do is push the tempo. You got guys like Austin who can get you a bucket. Asante can get you a bucket at any given moment. So I'm really interested to see how they'll be able to handle the transition as long as executing. Like I said earlier, they got to really execute to get this game going.
And we have a pretty good turnout here as we hear the fans cheering for the Chaney introductions currently.
I tell you, man, there's nothing like basketball in the Mahoning Valley this time of year, because at this point, everybody wants to see what's going to happen. And I love it, man. It's one of the coolest things, and I'm going to go ahead and put this little plug out here, too. Every time I've been around the Chaney team, they've always won. I just want to put that out there. I'm just putting it out there. It's been a lot of fun, so just want to let that be known. But I'm excited to see what happens tonight.
So for the visiting Chardon Hilltoppers, the starting lineup is going to be number 2, Rocco Tarantino, number 5, Luke Galfady, number 10, Drayton Allgood, number 31, Brendan Tasnick, and number 35, Stone Fawcett. Chris, you want to go ahead and tell us about the Chaney starters?
So here we have number 1, Asante McKell, number 2, Austin Brown, number 3, Alex Hill, number 4, Cameron Miller, and number 5, Allen Hill.
And Chardon controls the tip. Gets that down low to Fawcett. Can't get that one to go. Brown with the rebound. Pushes that one up. Mickle from the corner.
Even though he missed that one, I like him taking that shot. Sometimes what you need to do early is just kind of see the ball go in. If I'm Chardon, I would not leave him that wide open again, because Mickle is a walk-in bucket. Sometimes all he needs to do is see one go through.
Absolutely. And great defense down low. That was Alex Hill getting a block and a rebound there. Brown over to Miller. Back to Brown. Screen from Allen.
I think what Brown needs to do
is
attack the gaps.
It's Chardon, not
Chardon
High School. That's how you pronounce it. Yes, sir.
Gotcha.
As Chaney is swinging the ball around the perimeter, I think what they need to do a job of right now is attacking the gaps. As Brown attempts a triple. Triple won't fall this time for Brown. Brown has such a heart over height mentality. One of the things I love about his game is, even though he might be the shortest one on the court, he's going to make his presence known on both ends of the court. So I'm real curious to see how he does in this opening round.
And Brown kicks that one over to Mickle, swings that one over to Miller.
I think what Chaney needs to do is, like I said earlier, work the ball inside first. You got the Hill twins down there for a reason. The Hill Towers need to go to work.
Yeah, and Cameron Miller's not, a small guy in stature either.
I think right here in the high post, you got to look for Hill. Just like that. Man, if I don't know nothing else, I know how to call that particular play. He was wide open right there. That's what you need to see more of If Chaney can dominate on the inside early, I think this will open up the game for the Cowboys.
I'm surprised you're not coaching somewhere, Chris.
Hey, I take that as a compliment, man. Thank you so much. As Brown is okay, I like that one. As he's trying to swing him over.
Gets that one to Allen.
Bam.
Nice quick move to get to the bucket. Split in two defenders.
Now this is where it can get a little tricky for the Cowboys as they are come up with another steal. I think
nice behind the back by Brown.
Just like that. So now they're up 6. But you notice those first 2 possessions for the Cowboys, they dominated on the inside. That's what you want to see them to do as they're setting up in their press as Brown comes up with another steal.
And Brown just too aggressive.
I understand what he was trying to do there. I understand that, but you got to be a little smarter when you're making those passes, especially this time of year.
The aggressiveness from Brown, I mean, Chardon doesn't know what to do.
I'll take it a step further. At this point, if you're Chaney, this is where you want to send a message to this team early to let them know that it's going to be a long night. I think if Chaney scores another bucket, that's going to give them a little bit more confidence. That's going to give them something else that they can really build upon. But I think they need to continue to feed the ball in the high post and attack the gaps.
Absolutely, they get the ball back to Brown.
Right there. Kicks it down low. See if the big fella finishes. He doesn't.
Swings over to Brown, mid-range jumper. That one's off. Allen can't quite get that rebound.
He almost got it, but at this time of year, you got to make every possession matter. Every possession counts, and you also have to remember that there essentially is no tomorrow, so you have to play every possession like it's your last, because it very well could be.
Absolutely. Chardon trying to work the ball around the perimeter.
Got
a drive there.
Hill.
Allen Hill, nice block there on the shot attempt from Galfity. Nice ball movement here from Chaney.
Good high-low action. Austin's got to throw that ball a little bit higher.
We got the replay here.
Just like that. Once you feed it on the inside, things like that can really start to open your game up. And because Chaney has such a size advantage with the Hill twins, they need to tell those guys, look here, we're coming to you early nights, so be ready. As Brown attempts to triple. Now the triple won't fall this time for Brown, but I like that shot from him.
Yeah, those are shots that he usually knocks down. Great steal by Mickle. Brown, another mid-range.
Mid-range is still there. The mid-range will never go out of style, folks.
And, you know, guys that, shoot the mid-range to me that I always think of are guys like DeMar DeRozan.
Absolutely. That's a nice little high-low action. And just like that, Chaney is up 10-0 in this opening round of the playoffs.
So what do you think Chardon needs to do coming out of this time out here?
The first thing they have to do is calm down, stop turning the ball over, and get set up in your offense. And they also have to be able to handle that pressure. But if you're the Cowboys, you want to continue with that pressure and let them know this is not going to go the way that you guys thought it was going to go. Chaney is up 10-0 in this opening quarter, but let's see if they can continue to execute that, particularly on the defensive end. A lot of their offense was created by their defense. So I'm real curious to see if they can continue with that.
Absolutely. And, like I was mentioning, DeMar DeRozan, Austin Brown really reminds me a little bit of DeMar DeRozan, a very good defensive player. Sometimes, doesn't get mentioned enough how good he is on the defensive end. And then a guy that can just get to the bucket and finds a spot in the mid-range and can drain a lot of those tough mid-range jumpers.
Every point guard needs to have a mid-range. No matter how well you are shooting the 3-ball, at some point you're going to have to put the ball on the floor and get you your mid-range going. I tell a couple guys all the time, you can be a phenomenal sniper, but if you develop a mid-range game along with that sniping ability, nobody will be able to stop you.
Yeah, there's being a good shooter and then being an elite shooter from everywhere on the court.
Absolutely, as Chardon finally gets on the board.
That was Galfity with the bucket there as Thompson brings the ball up.
And Thompson attempts the triple. The triple won't fall this time for Thompson.
And that's Fawcett with the rebound. Ball gets kicked up. Galfity swings that one back out.
I must admit, if I'm Chaney, I don't want to shoot a lot of threes right now. I want to pound that ball inside because that's where you had a lot of the success in in the first few minutes rather of this opening quarter.
And Bobby Johnson drains that three. That was their answer from the Petrella mid-range. And a deep three to reply.
Now remember when I said off the air, it doesn't matter what these teams' record are, they're going to be ready. Now even though Chaney was just up 10-0, 10-0, Chardon now has cut the lead to 6 with 13-7. Chaney can't take these type of matchups lightly. They can't start to play lackadaisical here and just throwing up a bunch of 3 balls.
Yeah, you can't take your foot off the brake as Thompson misses that one.
Because you want to know what can happen? Speaking from experience, once you take your foot off that gas a little bit and you start to let up, you allow the other team to slowly start getting back in there. Once they slowly start getting back, now you got yourself a ball game. So instead of extending this lead to another 10 points, now Chaney is only up by 6.
Absolutely. And, you know, when you have the opportunity to slow it down and play it at your pace, taking those threes sometimes just takes too much of the wind out of your sails.
I think one of the most frustrating parts about the game of basketball now is everybody just thinks that they need to jack up a million threes to be successful, which is not. What they need to do and what guys need to do, period, is work the ball around and work what is working. If you're having success on the inside, that is what you need to continue to do until the defense can make some type of adjustment to make it slightly more challenging, as Hill just goes up and under.
And again, you mentioned if they can just work inside and get to those easy shots right under the rim, it's a recipe for success. Is that 3 balls off?
Even though that was a foul, which I'm not disagreeing with that call whatsoever, one of the things I mentioned earlier is Chaney has to box out. Nobody boxed out in that possession, and that's why Chardon just got that rebound, and now they're going to the free throw line.
Absolutely. We have Taznik at the line, ready to shoot 2. First one is off. And again, when you mentioned a lot of teams feel like they need to be shooting threes now, it's a product of, you know, watching the NBA game, the Warriors dynasty.
One of the most frustrating parts about watching that is, while it's nice to watch, everybody thinks they can do it. And you have to remember, those guys are professionals. That's their job. It's Steph Curry's job to hit those 30-footers. A lot of guys think they can do it, but they haven't put enough time in like Curry, as Mickle drives and can't convert on the layup.
And Chardon pushing the ball up. Galfity gets a nice friendly roll.
Remember when I said every guard needs a mid-range? Well, he just proved me right then and there.
Absolutely. When you can get to your mid-range game, when most teams are just looking for a layup or a 3, it really gets to a defense.
It does. And off that Chaney turnover, now Chardon gets the layup, and now they've cut the lead to just 4. Now, remember when I had mentioned earlier that Chaney is going to have to do a much better job of controlling the basketball, not turning it over, and making sure that you value every possession. Now, they've had a couple turnovers here. Let's see if they can just settle down and get back into the flow of their offense.
Johnson for 3. That one's off. Chardon with the board. And it looks like we're about to have Miller, Brown, and Alex Hill check in. And we had Thompson, Mack, and Johnson check out for Chaney.
As Chaney is up 15-11 in this opening quarter, you know Chardon isn't going to go away easily. They're going to keep fighting. Sometimes all the team needs is to just see a little bit of daylight. If they can hang around and you show them a little bit of daylight, next thing you know, it's a ball game.
Absolutely. They get the ball into Fawcett here. Passes that one back out.
And just like that,
quick bucket. And Mickle right back down on the other end to answer.
I love how they were able
that's
to
a steal by
respond to
Miller.
that.
Brown for 3. That one's off.
I don't like that shot one bit.
I think you needed to slow that down a little bit there.
I don't like that one not one bit, because now you're just trying to force the action. You just got to calm it down. As they're working the ball around the perimeter, which is what you want to see. But if you're Hill,
and there's
he
the steal.
comes up with the steal.
Hill Twins playing really good defense there. Allen with the board and the putback.
I love that. Love the great putback by Hill.
Galfy swings that one to Medina. Pressure defense here.
Oh, what a bummer. I understand what he was trying to do there. But we got called for a timeout.
As we got the replay here. Brown, nice floater attempt, just couldn't quite fall. Allen Hill there for the board and the putback.
I absolutely love that floater action from Brown. Even though that one didn't go, normally he's money from there. I enjoy seeing his game. So what are some of your takeaways in this opening quarter?
Well, from the opening quarter, so far, I mean, the Hill Twins, if they could just start boxing out a little more, I feel like the glass is theirs. I don't really see anybody that can match them size-wise down low. So like you mentioned, if they just start boxing out, I feel like they have the game won on the boards.
I believe offensively, both Hill Twins are going to have to demand the ball a little bit more.
As that's a block from Alex.
Now here's where you got to be careful at. Just because you have the size, it doesn't mean you got to start swatting down. A lot of times what you have to do is just go straight up. So that way, if you just go straight up, 9 out of 10 times, you can really cause a little bit of issues with that one.
Absolutely.
Anytime you start swatting down, the refs are ready to give you those little silly fouls. But if you just go straight up and have your hands up, they won't call it.
And they called that one on Alex. I think that one might have been on Allen, though. I think that was on 5. They called it on 3.
As we got about 4 seconds remaining here in this opening quarter, Chaney's going to try to get one last one up.
And they get the ball up to Brown. Gets that one off.
I love the buzzer beater action.
Bank was open.
Now remember when I just said every guard needs a mid-range? What shot was that?
Popped the midi.
I just want to let y'all know. Okay, I just wanted to be sure because I know I just called that out.
Again, I might as well call you Coach Gunther. I mean,
as Chaney is up 21-14 in this opening quarter.
I mean, that's what happens when you have such high IQ. I mean, you were a guard.
I was a pretty good guard too, but that's not the point. I think one of the best parts about being on this side is you can see the game in totally different facets, and you're able to kind of break things down in a way that you probably would not have been able to had I still been, playing. But right here, as Coach Brown is he is really getting into his players from the standpoint of boxing out. Boxing out will make the difference.
And what do you think Coach Marlin is telling his guys? Like, we obviously know Coach Brown was talking about, the boxing out, making sure we're getting rebounds, not giving extra possessions or losing a chance at an extra possession. But what do you think Coach Marlin is telling his guys?
I think Coach Marlin is trying to tell them, I'm not worried about offense. I'm worried about defense at this point. And you also got to think, they started out 10-0, but they kind of let them get back in it. Now, granted, they're up by 7, but you can't have any type of letdowns at this point in the season because it really is win or go home.
Absolutely, because you mentioned them being up 10-0. It's a 14-11 run since that timeout.
I think what Chaney has to continue to do as they're setting up in their offense, attack the zone, as Hill in that possession needs to call for the ball, needs to be a little bit more demanding.
That's something that I think the Hill Twins have to get a little more used to, is just cementing themselves down on that low block and demanding the ball.
As they just got called for a turnover.
Because like you said, a lot of guys nowadays, they don't want to be down in that low block trying to, drop step and put up baby hooks. They want to be out towards the three-point line and trying to shoot.
In a game like this, that's not their bread and butter. They need to dominate from the inside out.
Absolutely.
Now, Chardon's going to make them work. That's for sure. They're going to make them work down here on this defensive end.
And Galfy can't get that one to go.
That was a good shot. I'm actually surprised it didn't go.
And Brown bringing the ball up.
Right here. Hill needs to demand it. Right there. He's got to call for it. He's got to call for it, and he's wide open. As Brown attempts a triple. Triple won't fall that time for Brown. Brown's got to dump that ball down to the big fella and say, look here, man, you got to want it and work for it.
Fawcett swings that one up. They try to get it to Galfity, and Alex Hill with the steal. Cameron Miller bringing the ball up, swings it to Mickle. Mickle fakes, drives. Floater, no good. Alex Hill with the board.
Hill's got to finish that on the first drive.
And he gets that one back out. They swing the ball up to Brown. Brown looking for some space.
As Hill was trying to flash to the high post.
Throws that one back cross. Miller gets it down to Mickle.
I'm just unsure why each twin isn't demanding more from this offense at the moment. Because Chardon doesn't have an answer for them down low. And that's something that these guards are going to have to pick up on. Now he's got to face up a little bit and just attack it. What you don't ever want to do is just throw a silly pass like that. In a situation like that, he's got to square up, take his time, and just go straight up. Instead of just throwing a crazy pass across, because now you just turned the ball over.
And something I didn't understand from just watching that possession is the Hill twins, whenever the ball was on their side, they were, instead of staying down low, they were backing out closer towards the three-point line.
And Hill's got to be careful right there because he easily could have picked up another call just from doing another silly pass. I mean, not silly pass, but that could have been a silly foul call.
Yeah, they're going to get the call on Austin Brown there.
That's only his first.
And Chardon loses possession. Mickle with the steal.
Let's see if he can finish it.
Nice finish in transition.
Now right here is where they got to match up at. They have to make sure that they're set up in their defense. I think that we're trying to do a press, and just like that, another turnover. In that first quarter, a lot of Chaney's offense came from their defense.
Yeah, Bailey Mann couldn't quite receive that pass there. Miller to bring the ball up for Chaney.
As Brown is looking for the ball right there. I think he wanted to pull that one. Good pass. That's what I'm talking about.
And a good finish there from Alex Hill.
They need to continue to keep that thing going. What I love about Brown's game is his vision. He's always looking to find his teammates.
Absolutely, and that's what you need out of a point guard.
Austin Brown is one of the best point guards in this area as we're taking a look back at this play. Good high-low action to him. I love to see that. I'm a big believer in this. When your big fella is open, you got to give him the ball. Let him work out down there.
And I think next time Alex gets talked to by Austin, Austin's going to tell him, hey, when I get it up there, just go right up with it. Don't even catch it and fall.
As he's pushing the ball in transition, he hits Mickle.
Swings that over to Johnson. Back to Brown.
Right here is where Brown has to really penetrate the gap.
Johnson for three. Cashes another one. That's his second of the game.
Hey, when Johnson gets hot, he can really light it up. But I think Chaney needs to do a much better job on the defensive end.
Fawcett loses the ball there. Brown with the rip.
Great decision by Brown.
And again, that vision you were talking about. Johnson from the corner.
There you
hits
go.
Another one.
Now you see the game is slowly starting to open up because you got your three-point action going. But the only way you could get that action going, you had to go down low first. As Hill comes up with the rebound.
Swings that one up to Brown.
I like that one, Brown. I like how he's going in traffic. I understand what he was trying to do there.
Just a little too much sauce on that pass.
And that wasn't a bad decision. Sometimes it just don't go. As we're taking a look back at this triple for the Cowboys.
I love Johnson's form on his threes.
When Johnson gets hot, he can really light it up. As Chaney is currently up 31-17 in this second quarter of the first round of the playoffs.
And Chardon getting the ball just past half court here.
Chaney has to continue to rotate on defense. Johnson's got to be careful not to get caught over in that backside just watching. That's a tough shot. Now, you actually want to force them into a lot of those anytime you're playing a defense like that.
Absolutely tough mid-range.
Now, even though he just got called for the jump ball, I think if he's a little bit more aggressive right here, If he would have just been a tad bit more aggressive and just went straight up, he might have been able to finish through that contact. Or what he could have did was a simple spin move drop step. Because he's the biggest thing out there. I don't think anybody can guard him one-on-one.
Thompson gets that one into Alex Hill. Back up to Thompson.
Just like that, another high low. Oh, now didn't I just say if he does a drop step, what would happen?
Absolutely.
Okay, I just want to put that out there. What a great finish by Hill.
Half coach, half analyst, Chris Gunther.
I like that name, half coach, half analyst. That's a great finish. We got a timeout right here. Let's take another look at that beautiful drop step. Just sized him up, he caught it, and he finished straight up. That's what you want to see from Hill for the rest of the night.
Absolutely. You got to have your bigs play big. I mean, when you have your bigs trying to, sit outside and shoot a deep mid-range, I mean, everybody loves a good mid-range shot, but you want your bigs in the paint.
1,000,000,000%. You don't want to see guys, and this is the most frustrating part about today's game. We have too many guys that think that they could just step out and hit a bunch of threes, forgetting that you have a God-given ability. Use that to your advantage. If you're 6'5" at the high school level, take your butt down there on the block and go to work. You better not shoot that 1-3. If I see you shoot 1-3, chances are you're going to have to see me the next morning and run a couple suicides behind it, especially if you don't make it.
Absolutely. Only time you're allowed to shoot a 3 when you're that big is when you're up by 30, 40.
Plain and simple. Plain and simple. But if you were playing for me and you 6'5" and up trying to shoot threes, I'm going to tell you this right now. I want you down low. I want you down low. Get your name in the paper that way. Then let's work on your outside jumper. Okay, ran over. Back to the game.
Thompson bringing the ball up for Chaney. Gets that one over to Brown. Swings that one over into the corner.
Johnson got to look down low and feed his big man.
Chaney trying to work the perimeter. Brown. Nice little floater. Can't get that one to fall.
I like that split. I don't like the shot selection, but I like that split.
Can't get the layup to fall. And Galfity with the second chance opportunity.
As the Cowboys are up by 10 in this first half. First round of the playoffs, man. There's no greater time of year if you're a basketball fan. This is what it all comes down to.
Johnson, pull up. No good.
Now, even though he wasn't able to make that, Johnson is a wonderful shooter, so I understand what he was trying to do. Great hustle by Brown getting that steal. Brown gets on the floor.
Again, Brown, an elite defensive player.
Now, you want to know my issue with that play just now? Once Brown got that ball, Hill should have sprinted right down there in the paint. Take a look at it. Instead of sprinting, he's walking. That needs to be a sprint down there because Austin would have dropped it right off to him. Hill probably could have got a dunk and made these fans yell.
Absolutely.
Take a look at it. Instead of sprinting, he's walking. That needs to be a sprint down to the paint because Austin is going. As a guard, that would make me so mad. If I got the ball and I see you have a mismatch, sprint down to the paint.
Absolutely.
I will reward you. I'll be Jason Kidd, you be Kenyon Martin. Half these kids don't even know who I just said.
Absolutely. Hey, Kenyon Martin was a real good ball player.
You want to know why? Because he had Jason Kidd on his ball club.
Absolutely. Hey, I mean, that's why Amari's time on the Suns.
Well, Amari had Steve Nash. But I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I understand.
Good point guard play.
I know I'm showing my age, but it's all right. I still look good. As Johnson attempts a triple. Triple won't fall this time for Johnson.
And that was Tasnik with the board.
Chaney. Looks like we got another timeout here.
And we got 1:31 left in the first half. That's what it looks like.
I could be wrong, though. I'm not sure if it was a violation or a foul call. And we got some subs coming in.
I think they called a foul on Thompson because he picked up one there.
I don't know if I agree with that one. I don't know if I agree with that call, but all right.
Almost a steal there for Chaney down low. Couldn't quite get it. Fawcett for 3. That one's off.
Right here is where you got to push the ball. You can't walk it at this point. Now, Brown was just frustrated, and I understand exactly why he was frustrated on that one.
Johnson tries to get that one down low.
The reason why I don't like that pass, and no disrespect to Austin whatsoever, but Austin is 5'6". Austin is not trying to get a high-low thrown to him at any point. If anything, he's trying to come back out top and be the one throwing the high post rather.
Absolutely, just like he did earlier to one of the Hill twins.
Right here is where Brown can be real effective.
Alex needs to drop a little lower there.
I understand what he was trying to do there. It just didn't fall. Sometimes the shot just don't fall.
Nice trap. Brown gets the easy bucket. Him and Mickle with that good trap. Ball got thrown right to Johnson.
My biggest takeaway from this game in the first half for Chaney, their defense is creating their offense. Because notice they haven't really got a ton of baskets to go when they're just trying to set up the offense.
Absolutely, as Fawcett gets that bucket.
Good in and out by Mickle, kicks it down low to Hill.
And he just can't convert that one.
Last few seconds of the
half court. It hit the rafters.
So at the end of the first half, Chaney is up 35-27. As we got a little bit of instant replay from here from Austin Brown. Off of the steal courtesy of Bobby Johnson. I love the way that his effort is always on 100. He's never going to cheat the game. He's going to give it his all. But this is what I think people need to see more of right here is Coach Brown emphasizing the importance of defense right here to Dwayne Thompson. I played for Coach Brown, so I totally understand his mindset at the moment. And the mindset is this is the playoffs. We can't keep going over this little stuff because it can really come back and haunt us at this point in the season. But thankfully, right now you got a little bit of a cushion, so let's see what they can do in the second half.
Absolutely. And we'll be back with the second half after the halftime intermission. Your score, Chaney Cowboys 35, Chardon Hilltoppers 27.
Our next student spotlight is with Julian Seda Maldonado of East High School. She's not only a star player on the East High School basketball team, she also carries a 4.0 grade point average and is heading for college.
I play basketball because it's a game that helps me express myself as well as it helps me escape from reality sometimes. I enjoy it, it's fun, and the environment, just everything about it. I love it. I like coming to East because it's a place where I feel united with everybody else. I feel like I can have a really good community with everybody else, and I just have fun with everybody. My favorite subject is financial algebra because I don't know, I realized this year that I love math. I like solving problems and finding the reason why, everything, so I like calculating things. So that's why it's my favorite subject. Once I graduate, I'm going to YSU and hopefully I get my major on engineering.
I first heard about Chaffin from my guidance counselor, and she told us it was a career center and it would be a good opportunity to graduate with a new skill.
I heard about Chaffin from my mom. She had attended Chaffin and she was in the nursing program. So it was just something I wanted to do, get an experience of what a college classroom would be like.
My dad was a firefighter and he encouraged me to give it a shot, but I ended up really liking it. It's putting out fires, living life like a firefighter, doing what they do on a daily basis, and that just made me really want to do it even more.
I wanted to do the half day at Chaffin because it goes a lot quicker, which is really fun for me, and it just has more experience. I go to Chaffin and then I go to Ursuline, so I had two experiences, so it's really nice.
The reason why I like my half days at my home school at Chauvin is because it gives me that leeway into me playing sports and still having my learning experience there. And also coming here, I still have my hands-on learning.
Learning here at Chaffin, it's like more hands-on. It's like you talking to people way more than what you would do like in your regular classroom setting. Just get to know people more.
It's more rewarding to learn this way because I feel like it's more hands-on. It's a lot easier to learn things this way. It doesn't feel like I'm sitting in a classroom boxed up all day.
I feel like it's definitely easier to learn hands-on because like it's actually something that's coming into your brain instead of something that's going in one ear and out the other. So yeah, I like hands-on learning better.
I think that's something that a lot of kids should be getting involved with, hands-on projects. You know, everything's become very digital. But when I was able to be in my welding class and, you know, learn and do like what he was telling me, it was amazing.
I like the art part of it, like just thinking outside the box with every situation you do at Chaffin and cosmetology as well.
The people here are amazing. My instructors are they kind of became my family in a way. I don't even really consider it school. I consider it like somewhere to be and have fun and learn.
Favorite part would have to be meeting the new people that I met. Having my instructor, Prokop, he's a great teacher. He takes time with the kids. But it's all around just a comfortable environment to be in.
I really like my teacher, Miss Allison. I think she's really fun and she's really nice and understanding. If you make a mistake, she's always there to help you.
She makes like learning good because she's really energetic and interactive with her students, and she's a really good teacher. She'll show us and help us if we don't know anything, so it's really nice.
The teachers are more content into like you as on a personal level, so like you really get to spend time and they get to know who you are as a person while teaching you, so they can help on a better realm of understanding how you think.
They're very thorough in how they teach you things. They don't just tell you something and expect you to do it perfectly. They show you till you get it right.
They actually want to know what you do after you graduate. It's just like they want to know your next step. They don't want you to just come here and it just be like, I don't know. Because Chaffin to them is like, we're helping these kids get their next path.
When they took the time and sat down with me and she gave me a step-by-step process on how to, you know, get a job career, how to fill out an application, or, you know, just how to present yourself in the world. It's opened a lot more career path ideas for me, a lot more options. It's opened my mind to a lot of things that I didn't know I was capable of and achieving, but, you know, they told me otherwise.
Being able to help people is really important to me. That's something I've always wanted to do. Ever since I was like a little kid, I always wanted to do something involving helping people. It's only recently, after coming to Chaffin, that I learned what exactly I want to do.
Music has always been a big part of my life. Now I get the chance to record it and learn it myself.
Video content is everywhere these days, and I get to learn how it's made.
I've always loved technology. Getting to work with AR and VR, that's pretty awesome.
At Chaffin, we have access to all of the high-end equipment we will use in the field.
Getting a chance to express myself with my music is pretty cool.
My instructor helps me develop real-time 3D experiences and test them myself.
Our Academy of the Arts is full of cutting-edge programs that allow students to create anything they can dream of. The programs were designed to provide you with hands-on experience working with the latest technology in the industry. The experienced instructors will guide you through real-world training and prepare you to continue learning at a local university or to get started creating right away.
Collaborating with other creatives is exactly how I want to spend all my work days.
Having access to all these tools and software is definitely getting me ahead.
I can keep studying, or I can get hired somewhere with the experience I already have.
And we're back. We have the Chaney Cowboys and the Chardon Hilltoppers getting ready to start the second half in about a minute and 16 seconds here. Chris, what are your keys in the second half offensively for Chardon in order to get back into this game?
They're going to have to swing the ball around the perimeter. And honestly, they're going to have to make shots because they're not big enough to compete with Chaney down low. So I think they're going to have to make a lot of shots and also make a lot of second chance opportunities too, to make sure that they give themselves a better chance to get back in this game. For Chaney, offensively, they need to pound the ball inside. They need to penetrate the gaps. And what they need to do a much better job of is shot selection.
Absolutely, and we've already seen a ton defensively from Chaney. What more do you think Chaney can do to stifle the offense for Chardon?
I think ultimately what they're going to have to do is keep that full court press going, because a lot of Chaney's points in that first half came from them making sure that their defense was creating their offense. They had them turn the ball over a whole lot. So if I'm Chaney, I'm going right back to that defense that made them start turning it over. And that can actually get this game going in a higher direction for the Cowboys. Because at one point they were up by 10, now they're up by 8. So I'm real curious to see if, what adjustments each team will make starting out the second half.
Absolutely, and right before we get the action going here, I'd like to thank the, Chardon viewers that are tuning into our stream. We appreciate, every viewer.
Every single one. We appreciate it. Because you guys could do anything on this very cold Tuesday night.
Absolutely. You were telling me you get tired when you're cold?
Man, the fact that I've been yawning since I woke up is just sad. And I know it has nothing to do with the fact that I'm tired. It's because this temperature keeps dropping on me.
Absolutely.
Oh, well, it happens.
All good to inbound. Gets that one into Galfity. Back to all good.
I thought he was going to try to go to the hole with that one. Now, I love how Chaney is making them work. I don't know if I agree with that one. I don't know if I agree with that call.
Fawcett trying to work down low.
I believe they got him on the push. I think that's what the call is. I'm not sure if I agree with it, but
yeah, that's going to be Alex's second foul. As Stone Fawcett misses the first one.
Yeah, that's not a good sign for them because they need as many points as they can possibly get.
And I mean, free throws are going to be your easiest shot you're going to get, unless you can get a wide open transition layup.
As Chaney is pushing it off of that made free throw.
Miller trying to get that one down to Alex.
I think Alex needs to post back up and demand for the ball as Mickle goes baseline, goes up and under, can't convert.
And Fawcett with the board as Chardon's pushing it up. And that one's going to go out of bounds, and it's going to be Cowboy possession.
Let's see if the Cowboys can capitalize off of that turnover.
Mickle going to inbound to Brown.
We also would like to thank everybody who has been supporting Chaney all year. This is their last game. This is the last time that we'll see them play this year in this gym.
Miller gets that one over to Mickle. Over to Brown. Down low to Allen. Back out to Brown for three. That one's off. Long rebound.
Great hustle. Great hustle.
That's going to be out on Drayton Allgood there.
Even though Brown didn't hit that, I like the fact that he was wide open enough to take that shot. As Hill was posting up down there, he wanted that ball on the inbound.
Mickle's wide open in the corner over here, and he's going to cut across the baseline as they get the ball down to Allen.
That's all day right there. They have no answer for that. That's all day.
Great bucket.
Love the finish by Allen Hill. Now right here is where, if you're Chaney, you have to continue to work. And you can't be giving up drives to the basket like that.
Great block by Alex Hill as Fawcett went to drive to the rim.
What a rejection. Love the rejection. The rejection looked great.
And Brown bringing the ball up.
So now you can tell that Chardon's going to start doubling down on the big fellas.
Absolutely, as they're trying to get Fawcett and Tasnik down there. Mickle drains that three.
I love how he stepped into that one. Like when it left his hand, he already knew it was going in. That's what you call good confidence. You can't teach that.
And that, you know.
And Austin Brown comes up with another steal. He pushes it in transition. Good pass. I like that one. Mickle goes up and says, now even though he wasn't able to make that one, I like his ability to go up there.
Absolutely. And that last turnover was, you know, that Chaney trap.
Ooh, okay, I like that. I think Chaney right here needs to swing it around, get reset, set your offense back up.
Mickle open in the corner, fakes. He goes to drive, and they're going to get Fawcett on a foul there as he put his arm out and tried to impede Mickle's drive.
I think what they should have did was pull it back out and set something up, though. That's just maybe the point guard in me talking. Reset, get your offense set. Everybody was kind of out of whack there for the last few seconds of the possession.
They get the ball into Alex, gives that one over to Asante, over to Austin.
Good
Austin
pass.
shoots that one down to Allen.
See, what I don't like about that shot, he didn't go up strong with it. He kind of was waiting for the ref to bail him out. You know, as the postseason continues, you got to be a little tougher and a little stronger. And the kid's capable of doing it, but he's going to have to really want to do it.
Absolutely. The postseason's when you need, you know, your best mentally and physically.
As Brown attempts a triple, the triple won't fall that time for Brown.
Allen with the board. Gets it to his brother Alex. Nice little jumper from the free throw line.
I like the Hill connection there. Hill to Hill for the bucket. That sounds nice.
And a block for Alex Hill. Gets that one up to Austin Brown. Brown takes it himself. And he's going to draw the foul, and he's going to go to the line for 2. Again, love the aggressiveness from Austin.
It looked as if Austin was ready to throw Mickle a lob there. I'm wondering if Mickle has hops like that. I'm not sure. I've never him jump that high before, but it looked like he wanted to lob it to him.
I've heard a couple of the guys, you know, in pre-games talking about who can dunk and who can't. I don't think I've heard them talk about Asante.
Hey, I'm not sure, but nevertheless, Chaney is currently up 43-28. Just under 5 minutes here in this third quarter.
Something I like about a lot of the Chaney guys is they don't flaunt what they can do. They know what they can do, and they just go out and prove it. They let their play speak for them.
Absolutely. And a perfect trip to the strike for the Cowboys, courtesy of Austin Brown.
And possession is going to stay with Chardon there.
Leading scorer for the Cowboys right now is Asante Mickle with 11.
And then for the Hilltoppers, we have Luke Galfity with 12.
The Cowboys right now have 2 players in double figures. Asante has 11, and Austin Brown has 10.
Brown trying to find a man.
Good
Gets that one
high-low
down to
action.
Alex.
I like that. Yes, sir.
Nice little baby hook there.
That, my friends, is what you call the perfect execution. You set your man up and let him finish the job. What a great setup. From Brown to Hill. Now this is where Chaney can really open this game up even more, as now they're up by 18 points.
I like what Brown tried to do there. He tried to jump and twist and throw it back between his legs. Couldn't quite get it to go between them, but.
And with the last bucket from the Cowboys, Alex Hill now has 10 points. So we got 3 players in double figures for the Cowboys. We got a foul. Oh, no, they called travel. I thought they were going to call a foul on the floor.
Let's look at the replay here.
Yep, it definitely was. Good call.
Yeah, Johnson got his hand on the ball, forced the pickup. And then, you know, sometimes when you get going, you just can't stop those feet.
Speaking from experience, I know all about it. But now I'm real curious to see what Chaney will do now that they've got such a significant lead. Will they be able to execute their offense and run a couple of their sets? Or will they get lackadaisical and start to take their foot off the gas?
As we got Austin over here stretching out over on the Chaney bench.
I think Mickle probably should have went up for a nice little pull-up right there. I understand what he was trying to do. And I like that drive, I really do. However, I think in a situation like that, swing the ball back out, reset it, just reset everything up, kind of relax, get yourself situated, as Johnson attempts to triple. The triple won't fall this time for Johnson, but Hill comes up with the rebound. The bucket is good. I think Chardon wanted a up and down right there, but they didn't get it that time.
And Mann with the ball swings that one over, and they get it back to Galfity.
And Alex Hill for the Cowboys is leading all scorers with 12. Now right here is where Chardon wanted an up and down. I don't know, I think he might have got away with one there. Hey, home court advantage.
It looked like the ball might have got knocked out of his hand when he was going up.
Hill powers it up in there.
Mickle with another bucket.
Mickle powers it up in there, correction. I think what a win like this can do for Chaney, it can show you what we can be if we just execute and play defense first.
Absolutely.
The offense will take care of itself, but you got to win on the defensive end.
And there's some nights where, you know, your set offense just, it's not there. You can't get a friendly roll here or there. You know, sometimes it's an off night.
Oh, 100%.
But when you play great disciplined defense and you can force turnovers, it makes it that much easier because you just get easy buckets in transition.
Make a defense, create your offense, as Chaney is currently up by 20 on Chardon, 50-30.
And Johnson swings that one over to Mickle.
Mickle kind of just filling everybody out at this point.
He's going to drive. Tries to kick that to Johnson. That's going to be a steal from Mann.
Only thing I don't like about that is he has somebody wide open in the corner. Wide open in the corner. You got to swing that rock to him. Pass the pill on that one.
And that's an air ball. Allen Hill with the board swings that one up to Mickle.
I like that.
Oh, that was a nice move. Just couldn't convert.
I love the patience he had there with the nice little hop step. It looked good.
I like what he was trying to do. Just couldn't quite convert as he gets that fast break bucket.
I think Coach Marlin wants to talk things out right here. And I think I know exactly who's about to tell him right here, Coach Brown.
And now Mickle leading Chaney, and we have Galfity leading the Hilltoppers still.
I love how Coach Brown, in that little bit of interaction with Asante, wanted to hold him accountable. While he understands what he was trying to do on that missed layup, he was trying to tell him you need to control it. Control yourself because we're already up by so much. And right now, you don't need to be trying to do little extra stuff. You don't need to get fancy with it. Simple basketball still works.
Absolutely. And we have Galfity with 14 for the Hilltoppers, and then currently on the court with 13 points and 12 points apiece are Asante Mickle and Alex Hill. Galfity gets that one to Mann. Back over to Galfity, trying to get the ball.
Chaney can't afford to let up on the defensive end.
Galfity swings that one out, and that's a 3-ball.
Big shot.
That's Rocco Tarantino.
Good shot by Tarantino. As Chaney is just kind of swinging the ball around the perimeter here, trying to get everything set up.
Austin gets that one to Bobby Johnson. Good ball movement here from Chaney.
I like that pull-up by Austin, even though he didn't convert on that one.
Good rebound down inside.
That was a good decision.
3-ball. That one's off.
He shot that one a little flat. If he would have got some arc on it, he could have knocked that one down. I don't know if I'd have called that one.
And, you know, as somebody that's not a great shooter myself, I can understand, you know, not getting enough air under the ball.
You see, what I kind of just picked up on that one in particular, though, was the fact that he was wide open, but he left it a little short and he didn't get enough lift on it. You always got to shoot the ball as if, this is one of the things one of my coaches used to always tell me. You got to shoot with the confidence to the point where you're surprised if you miss it. And that's something that I've always tried to do. Always shoot with the confidence. Always shoot with confidence.
Another rebound for Hills. He gives that one off to Brown. Brown surveying the defense. Pushes that one down to Hill. Great ball movement.
I like how he fed his little guy out now. As a guy that was, you know, a vertically challenged guard, I don't know if I could have had that kind of success there. But I'm glad he did. Way to shoot it, kid.
And another 3 from Rocco.
We got 30 seconds remaining here in this third quarter in the opening round of the 2025 Boys Basketball Division III Northeast District Sectional Playoffs.
Brown over to Miller. Back to Brown. Nice little pivot there.
Brown's got to be careful not to throw those kind of passes.
Miller gets it down to Mack.
And unfortunately, in a possession like that, correction, a situation like that, he wasn't shot ready. But I love how Hill was fed his homie right there. Yes, sir, I like that one.
Now, when your bigs can get going like the Hills have been able to get going down low, I mean, it creates opportunities like that where the attention's drawn.
Yeah, because in a situation like that, all that attention is on the big guy. So the guards, you can easily just get your quick little backdoor action. You can just cut right down there. And most of the time, the bigs will reward you because the defense won't collapse to you.
Absolutely. That's what guys like.
I thought Austin was going to hit another buzzer beater. I'm not mad at that one.
That's what guys like Tim Duncan used to do.
All day, every day. So here we are at the end of 3. Chaney is up 54-36.
And going into this fourth quarter, if you're Chaney, are you just trying to, slow the offense down and run your plays, or are you trying to be aggressive and try and, get into the lane?
You got to be aggressive. It's the playoffs. You have to execute your offense. You cannot let up at all. Even though you're up by 18 points, basketball is a game of runs. What happens if, Chardon can go on a run and they can cut this lead from 18-8? You cannot get lackadaisical. You got to keep your foot on the gas at this point.
And for Chardon to be able to do that and cut that lead, what do you think their best course of action is going to be in this fourth quarter?
Well, I love how they have been able to hit some outside shots. So do what has been working for you so far. Keep hitting your outside shots and ultimately get some backdoor action too, because you never know what can happen.
Absolutely. Something that I noticed is, they try and lean on one or two scorers, and I think they just need to trust everybody out there. Because there's some times where they have wide open teammates and they just don't hit them as there's a steal there.
And now you notice how in this fourth quarter, just like that, the first 2 buckets have been down low. Chaney has to be smart here. Don't think just because you got a nice little cushion of a lead that they're going to just roll over and let you win. They're here for a reason. They're going to play, and that means you got to keep playing.
Mickle driving, gets that one back out to Miller. Miller thought about it. Back over to Mickle for 3 from the corner. That one doesn't go. And I saw Brown was trying to be patient, knew that, the man behind him had a little bit of a height advantage, was hoping maybe he couldn't quite get his hands on the ball.
If Chardon scores right here from the Cowboys, I'm calling timeout. I want to get everybody settled. Call timeout. That's what I would do. Settle down, because now you're starting to get lazy.
And that's exactly what Coach Marlin does.
I think Coach Marlin wants to have a few words with his guys, as he should.
Now, if you're Coach Marlin, what exactly are you telling them during this timeout from that, that first minute or so of the quarter?
The biggest thing I'm telling them is don't let your foot off the gas. Stop playing lazy. You can't be making those little passes that are not going to work. What you also need to do is get it on defense. You can't just let guys blow right past you and go on, making those crazy layups, because now you're giving them hope. You're giving them a hope and a chance that they're thinking, hey, you know what? We're here. We might be able to do this thing. Speaking from experience, I'm telling you what I know. Anytime you start kind of playing down to your competition, the competition can come back and get you.
So you're trying to tell them more of, instead of playing like you have a lead, play like it's 0-0.
Yes, exactly. Because if you don't, it will not end good in the long run. Speaking from experience, as Austin Brown has it, kicks it back over to Mickle. A little bit under 7 minutes to go here.
Brown back to Miller. Miller swings out to Mickle.
I like Mickle's game. Real polished and real smooth.
I like a lot of the guys on this Chaney team. I feel like they play good fundamental basketball, but know how to put their own flair on some of it.
100%.
And, you know, that's a struggle as there's a turnover there for Chaney. That's a struggle
That's your third turnover in the fourth quarter.
That's a struggle with a lot of teams, is not being able to, you know, do one or the other, having your own little spin on something, or, you know, being truly fundamental in your game.
Good pass.
Brown just can't get that one to fall.
You want to know something else? I would tell Chaney, pull the ball out. You're up. You don't need to score at this moment. You don't need to score. Pull it out. You're up. There is no shot clock in high school.
Yeah, play the time. I mean, realistically, if you don't have an easy shot down low, like you're saying, just kick it back out, because you can chew as much of the clock as you need to on a possession to get a good shot.
100%. And I just heard Coach Brown say, we get the ball, pull it back out. I'm having flashbacks as I'm looking at him talk to his players, because he could get us too. He used to always say this one thing, and I'm going to make sure it's the PG version because everybody's listening. When you think you mess up, so just play. If you play with Coach Brown, you know exactly the word that I just did not use, so you all are welcome.
I haven't even played for Coach Brown. I know exactly what you're saying.
What a great man, as Chaney is up 54-42.
And, you know, as you're talking about Coach Brown, I just love how he'll get on his guys, but at the end of the day, when the game's over, he'll give them that little pat on the back of what they did well.
Absolutely, because every coach, the job of a coach is to always build you up and hold you accountable at all times. Now, if you mess up, they're going to have to call you out. But if you're doing a good job, they're going to call you out on that as well.
Absolutely, and you love the coaches that can keep that excellent balance between being able to call you out and, you know, let you know what you're doing well, because some coaches just aren't quite good at it.
Very true.
There's another block from the Hill twins. That one was Allen.
Right here, just pull it out, pull it out. I would not force the action in this moment. I would really just work the ball around until you have something good. As Hill got away with a travel there. He certainly got away with a travel.
That's going to be a foul on Fawcett here.
Good foul.
And I saw early in that possession, I was looking over at the Chaney bench, and I could see Coach Brown put his hands on his head because Alex was backdoor, and there was an opportunity for Mickle to swing that one down the baseline to him. And Coach Brown, like I said, hands on his head. He's like, ah.
Yeah, I've seen him have his hand on his head several times, so I know all about it. Most of the time it was because I either made a crazy pass. He's like, Chris. I'm like, I got you, coach. My bad. Brings back memories as Chaney is looking to go 2 for 2 from the strike, which they can't do.
And Allgood trying to bring the ball up now.
What a way to push that ball.
And that mid-range fader not able to go for Galfity. And they swing that one over to Mickle. Nice lob and good finish by Mickle.
Hey, you reward your guys when they're open. Sophomore to sophomore action there.
Galfity tries to swing that one back out to Fawcett. Tip pass, Allgood keeps possession for Chardon.
Chaney is currently up 57-42. I give Chardon credit. They're going to keep fighting.
Absolutely, and that's what every coach wants out of his guys. Win, lose, or draw any sport, you want your guys to fight all the way through till the sound of the final buzzer.
As we take another look at this action play, nice little alley-oop from Brown to Mickle.
Good vision there. As we have Rocco Tarantino at the line for 2. First one's in and out. And again, you got to hit the free throws in the playoffs. That's going to be a thing that'll kill a lot of the teams that end up losing games in the playoffs, is not making your free throws.
Yes, it will. No other way to put it.
And the second one's good for Rocco there. Brown bringing the ball up.
Chaney has a very impressive lead, so I'm real curious to see how they execute in the last few minutes of the ball game.
Now, I like what Brown did there, even though he didn't make that shot. Had a wide open 3, takes one dribble inside to get to a spot he liked.
It almost went in, but Asante was right there for the rebound and the putback as Chaney creates another turnover. I see some of the Chaney Cowgirls over there who are the reigning SBC champions.
Yeah, got to be preparing throughout the week for their playoff game.
Yeah, they got a big one tomorrow. Let's see if the Cowgirls can make it happen.
I mean, the Cowboys trying to set a good example.
I think what I love about the kids now, they really support each other. And it's always better, it's always easier to do that when both programs are doing really good. Chaney's doing good, like the boys are doing good, girls are doing good. I love to see it. As Brown attempts a triple, and the triple won't fall this time for Brown. I'm not so sure if Coach Marlin is happy with that shot or not. I think he's just like, let's just move on to the next play.
Galfrey deep inbound there. And that's another block for Allen Hill.
Great rejection.
I mean, again, like we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, as Mickle misses that one, another rebound for Allen. When you have your bigs dominating the game and you don't have anyone that can match up with them, it just makes it so hard, as we have 4 Chaney Cowboys on the court in double digits.
As Coach Marlin wants to have a little conversation with his guys, and I think I know what he's about to tell them. I think the biggest thing that he wants them to see is that just because you have the lead, that doesn't mean you can start executing sloppy on offense. Taking ill-advised shots, doing things that are not in your character. Because if you do those things now, what happens when you go to round 2? Bad habits need to be canceled in the playoffs. But if you've been doing it all season, it's going to be hard to cancel it.
Absolutely.
However, I'm glad to see that they are up, because in these kind of moments like this is what you still can work on. You really can turn a negative into a positive. As we got 4 players for the Cowboys that are in double figures with Asante Mickle, Austin Brown. We also have Alex Hill.
And Allen Hill.
So we got the Hill twins, Brown and Mickle, all in double figures for the Cowboys.
And then for the Hilltoppers, we have Rocco Tarantino with 13. And then leading the Hilltoppers, we have Luke Galfity. And also in double figures is number 35, Stone Fawcett.
I give the Hilltoppers credit. They did not fold. I think in a game like this, though, they are just a little bit outnumbered. They're a little bit outnumbered over here, and therefore they're probably going to go ahead and, as we get a 5-second violation call. But I give the Hilltoppers a lot of credit. They did not give up. Sometimes you're just outmatched. That's how it goes.
Absolutely, and outmatched isn't always necessarily height or speed. Sometimes on game to game it can be who you have available. Some guys get sick, some guys get hurt.
Ooh, I thought he was gonna dunk that one. I was looking forward to that one. As Asante Mickle comes up with a steal. I think what Coach Marlin is about to do is maybe sub his guys out and get his other guys in, because this one's over.
It looks like Max getting ready to come in.
Chaney currently has a 22 lead, 65-43.
And I like the way Coach Marlin's been running his rotations in this game. As Brown can't get that transition one to go, Johnson with the rebound.
I'm a little surprised they didn't call the foul there. I thought for sure they were going to get one.
They've been trying to let him play most of this game. We haven't really had too many free throw attempts for either side.
We haven't, but on the flip side, okay, I'm not mad at that one. I actually like that.
Hey.
I'm not mad at it.
I mean, it still went in.
Yeah. Back when I played, we would just call that a hard layup.
Yeah.
We would just call that a hard layup because it wasn't a dunk. As Johnson attempts a triple, and the triple won't fall this time for Johnson.
Allen with the board and the easy put in.
Allen is just out here having fun with it. He's a man amongst boys. So he has 14 now for the Cowboys.
And Chris, I know for your show you do the interviews post-game. Who are you going to interview for this game?
Man, I got so many options. I mean, I wish I could interview them all, but I think I'm going to go ahead and give it to Asante. I really loved his game tonight. He was straight up facilitating. His game was real smooth. I think I'm going to talk to Asante tonight.
And I can't wait to catch that one on the Chris Gunther show.
I appreciate it. Definitely make sure you guys tune in as we got 15 seconds. Okay, I guess the timeout is about to conclude now.
And your score, the Chaney Cowboys 67, the Sheridan Hilltoppers 45. And I mean, we have a 20-point scorer for Sheridan, so it's not like they haven't, had opportunities to score. Something that we mentioned real early in the broadcast was the mid-range game, and that's where a lot of the points have come for Luke Galfity for Sheridan.
Another steal by Asante. Let's see if he does it. Okay. I thought he was going to try it, but he didn't. I understand why.
Galfity. Again, the Chaney defense is just so hard to go against. I'd hate to play them. Because that's a nice little basket there for Petrella.
We got 2 minutes remaining here in the ball game.
And one of my favorite guys that starts for the JV team off the bench coming in, Dalen Farrell. I like his aggressiveness. I think you give him another year to develop with the rest of this Chaney team. I think he'll be one of those guys that, subs in for Austin and, defensively can fill those shoes.
And speaking about Austin, he and Asante, they are done for the night. They have contributed greatly as Chaney is up 69-47.
And there's a steal for Galfity. And he dunks that one.
I like that one. He was like, if I'm going down shooting. I ain't mad at you, young fella.
He's like, listen, even in defeat, gotta look good.
Hey, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
Mack with a nice board and a nice putback.
What a good putback.
It's another one of my favorite guys off the bench, Jaden Mack for Chaney.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that each ball club gave it its all, but there can only be one winner in this scenario. It is Chaney.
Absolutely. Nice little runner.
Nice run and a nice floater. Some of the fans are getting ready to head for the exit. Chaney's defense created a lot of their offense tonight.
Oh, and Mack just loses it. Johnson for 3. That one's good.
Well, guys, it's been fun. It's been real. Thank y'all for rocking out with us, but this one's a wrap, baby.
Yeah, Chaney just pouring it on a little bit here at the end.
I just hope nobody fouls, and I think a situation like this, you just hold the ball. Hold the ball. I don't think I would have shot that one. I'd have just held it.
These young guys looking to get a little more experience, trying to get a few more shots up.
Yeah, they are, but I just hope that in a scenario like this, you just hold it, run the clock out, shake hands, be a good sport, move on to the second round.
Absolutely. Because, karma can be a real thing. And
yes, it can.
And sometimes, when you try and add on, it comes back to bite you late in a playoff game.
It definitely will, but I think it's safe to say this one is over. Well, guys, it's been real. Thank y'all for letting me fill in tonight. It's been a lot of fun. Thank you, Chauvin Broadcast. Thank you to my man for having me.
It's an honor to have you on the show, Chris. Thanks for being with us.
I'll see you guys next time.
And that was Chris Gunther. As final buzzer sounds, your final score, the Chaney Cowboys 76, the Chardon Hilltoppers 49. And I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. I'd like to thank Chauvin Broadcasting and the students, Mr. G, behind the scenes back here, my dad, Daniel, student on camera. And again, we'd like to thank Chris Gunther, and have a blessed night.